that our unofficial recess is over. Our next item of business is citizen participation. Just a reminder, this meeting is a business meeting of the Board of Education held in public. 30 minutes will be allotted to the residents of the school district and staff to give the board the opportunity to listen to citizens. Remarks will be limited to 3 minutes and to 1 appearance, thus allowing for maximum number of participants in the allotted time in which citizens are to speak to issues. Questions directed to the board may not always be answered immediately. And during this public comment period, we ask that speakers refrain from using profanity and not address students or staff by name. Speakers who violate this rule may be asked to leave. We do not have anyone signed up for citizen participation tonight, so in the future, you'll have that, there's your disclaimer. So moving on to consent agenda items. There is a list of consent agenda items in front of you. Are there any questions about any particular item? Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Roger.
Second.
Motion by Roger Bridgman, seconded by Lisa Elrod to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
Yes.
Yes. One opposed.
She was just a
She was a little late, Tammy. It sounded like shit.
Okay,
Just for future, there will be delay. Our next item of the night is the financial statement and the April bills. Are there any questions about any bills for this month? Okay, is there a motion?
Second.
Motion by Caitlin, seconded by Chris to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 7 yes.
Good head nod. Our next item are the administrative reports. First up, we have board and committee reports. I do know that there have been a couple of board committees that have met recently. There are also items on the agenda that are reflective of those meetings. So if anyone would like to give an update from the board committees that have met, that's fine. It can be saved for the items that are actually pertinent on the agenda.
What I've got's not on the, or some of what I have's not on the agenda, so whenever.
Yep.
Okay. Just a few things, nothing really big. I know that you heard something about Senate Bill 727. I believe they're voting on that Monday.
It passed today.
It did pass today, okay, because I hadn't read it since this morning.
So tonight's gonna be a night of celebrations. So
No.
they made some amendments to it yesterday and then passed it at 10 o'clock this morning in session. So I read through it. I've got thoughts on it, but we'll save that for another time. There's a lot to it. So some
Yeah,
good
when
things and some
yeah, when I
things
read it,
we'll have to
there's-
navigate.
There's quite a bit of information in there. I think that is all I have. Oh, one thing I thought was kind of interesting, and some of you are going to know why. There is a representative from Windsor that is sponsoring a bill in the House to put driver education back in school and to tie that in with the health, which I thought was interesting. So, see how that goes.
Okay. Chris, do you have anything? Moving on to building principal reports. Joe Cross, is there anything that you would like to highlight out of your report? Like maybe one great positive from the building?
We had donuts with grown-ups today, which was excellent. I appreciate we had many board members, everyone that was available, other than work kept them from it, you know. So really a fun turnout. It was probably the first big event we've had like that since COVID. Shut a lot of that down, and we've kind of started building that back up. So not only were we able to have families be able to get in the building, have a donut with their kiddos and whatnot, but we did purchase enough that afterwards every kid in the building got to have a donut, which was an important thing to us. A little bit of shout out to Master's Donuts here in Cuba. We were all ready to send Dr. Williams, myself, Molly, and Tabs to the 4 corners of Walmarts to get all of the donuts. So we thought we'd do a last-ditch effort and call Masters on Tuesday, and it was the quote of the week. Mr. Long there, who owns those establishments, I said, hey, it's 2 days away, it's 1,000 donuts, man. I said, can you get it done? And he said, with Masters Donuts, anything is possible. I said, I like that attitude, brother. All right, that's it. I live by that attitude. So they gave us a 10% discount just for being the school, and were able to help us out with that. So just a fun event for the families that we were very thrilled to kind of bring back. So super fun one.
Thank you for doing that, and it was heard a lot of good compliments.
Yeah,
so
it was great. It was great. Pretty good turnout.
It's great parents.
Yeah.
A lot of parents.
It was fun.
Mrs. Shoemaker, would you have anything to highlight or a great positive in your building to share with us?
Well, we are sprinting to the end. We have a lot of things going on. In addition to all of our activities, at least 20 different staff members, and some more than once, is going to get pied in the face from our Spice Raiser fundraiser that we just finished up. And some get 3, maybe 4 pies, and some just get 1, but at least 20 different staff members, including this one. You just found that out right now. I got 2.
I talked a lot of trash the last 6 years, so it's not all the way surprising, but
Built up.
right.
But our kids did really great with that. Our goal was 2,000 spices, which is a lot, but they blew it out of the water, and we sold 3,130 rounds.
Awesome. Nice job.
That's probably not exact, but it's pretty close. So lots of incentives being handed out. We handed some out this week. We'll do some next week, and the week after. I kind of had to spread it out because there was so much different stuff going on and things like that. So yeah, so we're pretty excited about that. So that's going to be something that we'll be working on for the next few weeks. So.
I also would add that I think that your prize list, they were very obtainable prizes, and it didn't really pull much out of your actual fundraiser.
Right.
I think that there was a lot of positive feedback. The kids got really excited about the opportunity to pie somebody in the face, or a hat pass, or a homework pass. Those
Yeah,
were,
a Hershey candy bar. You didn't be surprised how many kids wanted a Hershey candy bar. You know, that's not very expensive. But yeah, we try to kind of tier it with different tiers and put some different things in there that we, didn't really cost us, and then some things that did, but we're not really spending a lot out of that money to get back. So I think it worked out pretty well.
good idea.
Awesome.
Hey, Mrs. Meesey, same scenario, something to highlight or a positive.
Well, we are wrapping up our EOCs this week. Tomorrow's our last big day, which tomorrow's going to be a big day. We have prom presentation. We have a baseball game tomorrow night. We are busy this weekend. But EOCs are running very smooth. Technology has been great. Everything was prepared, and I just want to give a shout out to our counselors who have been on it. They keep us on schedule. We've turned off the bells, which makes it harder to stay on schedule, but they know when to pull kids. Got them in there. We're checking the boxes, getting them all tested, so finishing strong.
That's all we can hope for. Of course, Mitch.
Our numbers are continuing to decrease, and the student assistance team, I think, is helping a lot in the multi-tiered systems of support.
That's some positive that your numbers are declining.
Very good.
Miss Abby.
FCCLA took their culinary trip to ECC in Union to tour the facilities and test out their food that they've been working on. And the NHS applications were due Monday. They are already back. We are hosting induction on Sunday at 2 p.m. They are asking them to get there 15 minutes early in advance to prep for it. And the FFA had their labor auction Monday. It went very well, so I've heard. Did not get to attend myself. And GVCR continues to hold the best of show, which is pretty nice considering I've done it the last couple of years. And prom setup is tomorrow. Big day.
It is a big day. There's also a large track meet tomorrow that your high school kids will be running to, so yes, a lot happening.
On Saturday,
a positive to highlight in my board report, I'm very excited that our application for our summer food program got approved. So that means all of our students who attend summer school will get free breakfast and lunch. And that is actually available to all of the students in the community who are 18 years old and younger. So anybody can come to the school during summer school during meal times that's 18 or under and get a free meal. So I was very happy that that got approved.
That is a big thing.
Yep.
And that's generally communicated pretty well, I think, by the school district, you know.
Yes,
just to let
and,
families know that.
Ms. Smith ordered, they offered us some free promotional things, and so she ordered us a couple of banners that we could hang up.
Great. Superintendent report.
All right, well, I had 3, but now I have 2. Besides a third again. One of the perks, attended the Franklin County Co-op annual meeting, and that's ran through the St. Clair R13 school district, which helps provide services to our most needy students through special education. So kind of passion of mine, I was a former special education teacher, so just kind of giving some insight during that meeting, and they said, well, participation equals punishment, and they voted me on the board of directors with that to help run that, but just proud of that because it goes hand in hand with what we do here at school. And just continue the good work with our SPED department there. So that is the least of. The second, I'm very excited to have Valley Becker here, if you don't mind standing and waving. So she's going to be, or is our new coordinator of business services, so glad to have her on board. And then, however, just I want to say very proud of Dr. Siebert for her accomplishments and just everything she does and is continuing to do, and just very proud of you achieving that today. So I had no efforts in it, but congratulations.
Okay, good stuff. Lots of positives. Our next item of business is the 2023-2024 budget update.
So our budget this year, we're doing well. We spent 81% of year-to-date expenses. One thing I did want to change, instead of 75% revenues, we're up to 115. And what that is we're pulling all our ESSER 3 money right now. So that's going to lay on our books and look like our revenues are, it's going to look a little skewed for a bit until the ESSER 3 money gets flushed through there. But we're in a really good place this year, and I'm already working on have been next year's budget for quite a while. So.
So, that was information. We will move into the 24-25 budget update.
So the 24-25 budget update, this ebbs and flows continually. So as I get information and input it, it adjusts our projections for next year. So just kind of looking at, I want to keep things on the positive. So right now the state's saying we should get some new Prop C money, which would create $175,000 in new revenues. And then our SAT, they're wanting to add to that, and that's a multiplier per student, which would be about, say, $515,000 to us. So about $700,000 in new revenues. I'm just tracking legislation still to see what happens. So Senate Bill 727 did pass, and again, not to get into all the details there, that's still going to have to be vetted out with some of the changes, because there's some things I noticed, and I'm not sure how that's going to impact us. But still, just kind of projecting next year at about a 70, it's down now to about a 76% reserve, and that's allowing us to have $650,000 in new revenue. So this has already changed from last week since I've done this. So for example, putting in tuition costs for Franklin County Co-op, our Discovery School, and ECC, that was a $100,000 increased cost between all three of those. So things ebb and flow pretty quick on that, but we're in a good place. I just want to stay with the positive for next year. We'll just kind of track and monitor the rest of the legislative session and then see what happens in June too. But we're in a good place to do some things. So, any questions on that?
Okay. Our next item is to approve the revised 24-25 school calendar. So our calendar committee, we reconvened not last week, the week before.
Monday?
Yes, first Monday. That's a Monday. Yes. Last week was a lot. So we looked at that calendar again to consider building in all of our snow days. So right now, there's only 5 snow days built into that calendar. Some of the pieces that were discussed were adding minutes to the day, so we could then add all of our snow days in. It was determined at this time to not add any days or any minutes in and leave our calendar as is, with the exception that we did move a makeup snow day date. Does anybody have any questions about that piece? No? Okay. So, do you want to add anything about that?
I'll just
committee?
preference, this calendar is in compliance with that Senate Bill 727 as well. So one of the caveats is they have a 142 days of attendance piece, and we are in compliance with that. So, and that would be not for next year, but the following year anyway. So we're covered with this current calendar.
If there's not any questions, is there a motion to approve the amended revised
I
calendar?
make that motion.
Motion by Lisa, seconded by Caitlin, to approve the revision to the 2024-2025 school calendar as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 7 yes.
Our next item is we need to appoint a delegate and an alternate. This is for MSBA. We briefly discussed this at our reorganization meeting last week. You were given some more information as to what kind of that role looks like. I don't know that anybody reached out with additional information, so I think you have everything needed. Is there anyone that would like
Can I just say a few
Yeah.
things on that? I was also asked, if they had to go to these meetings. No, you do not have to go to the meetings. There is one in this summer the summer summit is in June of this year. And I have information if someone is interested in looking at it, kind of give you an idea of what goes on the 2 days. And it's at Branson.
It is in Branson.
And then the MSBA annual conference then is in October. It's been moved back. It's in Kansas City down by the plaza this year, so they moved it out from downtown Kansas City, which, as far as I'm concerned, that's great. And that is, I've got 115 notes here. It is October 16, let's see. 18 and 19, yeah, because I've got mayors and MSBA here. It's October 18th and 19th.
Do you get separate emails specifically as the delegate from MSBA? in your
I do, because
reports?
right now I've been the delegate.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
I
for the
meant
last
if
few
they-
years.
Okay.
And they'll explain this, and that's what I went ahead and actually printed some of those off. And you do have to be a board member for at least a year. And if you can't go, that's why they pick the delegates. If you can't go, then there's also a sub that can go for you. And if nobody goes, then our president is a delegate, because that's how I got it in the first place.
You left that out.
That was in all of the information that we just
highlighted.
So it's not bad. I think you might have maybe a Zoom meeting here and there. It just depends. You're basically, people are gonna, in the summer, you're going to vote on officers and on MSBA directors. And then there are going to be people who bring policy changes or amendments or something. You're going to vote whether you want to send all that to the annual meeting, and then you'll vote on all those at annual meeting. And you get a booklet. So, I mean, they give you a lot of information. But it's just whatever you want to do.
Are there any takers to be the MSBA delegate?
I can do it.
Okay.
And you really do need
You
to
can,
You didn't come through. What did you say,
We're
Tammy?
still listening, Tammy.
I can do it.
Okay.
So Tammy Palmer will be our MSBA delegate. Is there anyone that would like to be the alternate? Lisa Lisa Elrod will be the alternate. Thank you so much, Lisa and Tammy. Thanks for taking one for the team. Okay, we are gonna move into new business. Our next item is to approve the 2024, or adopt the 2024 District Career Ladder Plan. It is in your packet, what the plan lays out. You can pull it up here. I hope everyone's had a chance to look over that, and Dr. Davidson, would you like to speak any more to the plan itself?
I sure will. So in our salary meetings, one of the pieces how we can help support teachers is through a career ladder plan. So a requirement by the state is to have that vetted out with a committee, which Ms. Siebert did last night with CSIP, and then to have it board approved, and then I'll be able to submit the plan and what it would look at costing us to the district. So right now it's a provided grant by the state at a, they say a 60-40 split, but really we have to pay benefits, so it's a 55. The state will pay 55%, we'll pay 45%. That total cost, if everyone participates, is $171,000 to us for next year, but it does provide a stage 1 at $1,500 additional funds, stage 2 $3,000 additional funds, and stage 3 $5,000 additional funds. And so just if you would consider that as a board to approve that plan, and we can get that submitted to DESE to get that into the state so they know the final amount of money they need to appropriate for funding.
I make the motion
I'll second.
to approve.
Thank you, Tammy.
Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Roger Bridgman, that we adopt the 2024-2025 District Career Plan as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 7 yes.
Our next item of business is to seek bids for track resurfacing. It is my understanding we are at the point where we need to maintain our track. We're at the point where I think we're actually about a year behind maybe in resurfacing that. And so we would like to seek bids to see if that is a doable project.
I'll make the motion.
Casey, by had any questions, it's been,
So this July will be 7 years.
yeah, it should be 7 years. So it's been, we've had this one built since 2011.
It's time.
And when we went out and solicited funds and people were helping us with it, the idea was that we would keep it up. We would provide, put do as many track meets and stuff out there as we could, and take good care of it. So I think it's something that we owe the public, because they agreed to spend that money.
I second it.
Thank you.
I just wanted to let you know. I was on that committee.
That's why I pushed it.
Motion by Roger Bridgman, seconded by Lisa Elrod, to authorize the superintendent to advertise and seek bids for track resurfacing as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 7 yes.
She means yes. She's gonna thumbs up because it's just, yes. He keeps cutting her off too.
Okay. Our next item is to approve the 24-25 certified salary schedule. There is a schedule in your packet. The salary committee met with certified staff, and they determined that a $38,000 salary schedule would be beneficial to adopt for certified staff to know at a minimum what they would earn next year. There's still some pieces pending legislation, which we briefly talked about tonight, the salary schedule could go beyond $38,000 for the 24-25 school year, but at minimum, this is being presented to pass it for tonight.
Motion by Chris Bell, seconded by Lisa Elrod, to adopt the 2024-2025 certified salary schedule as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 7 yes.
Okay. We do not have any Board of Education proposed agenda items, nor do we have resident agenda items. Our next item of business is to approve our next board meeting. I would like to just put a plug in encourage everybody to look at their calendars. I would also encourage you to look at the school activity calendar. I think we're here to do what's best for kids, and I think that it's important that we are, that we try to attend events and things like that. Yes, that night is our senior parade.
Yes.
I think whenever I looked for the night before on that Wednesday night, it was something large.
The elementary carnival.
That's what it was. I knew it was something large. And I, thank you. Right. The 14th, there is a middle school and a high school choir concert. So I just think it's respectful to our administrators
Absolutely.
that are supervising things. I think it's respectful to the board that has children in the district that we try to attend their events. So as long as we are communicating to our public when our next meeting is, I just think we should take these calendars into consideration.
There's currently nothing on the school calendar for Tuesday the 21st, Wednesday the 22nd.
That is correct.
Surgery on the 20th.
I would prefer not the 22nd.
Well, I would prefer not the 22nd too.
And I'll make a motion that we move it to the 23rd, instead of on the Thursday, but the next week.
Okay, when are we doing this again?
That would be May
No,
3rd on Thursday night at 6 o'clock.
But no, not 23rd.
Thank you, Brad. We're just saying out there the date, right?
We'll probably still be checking people out.
Out.
But if you're cool with us being gonzo, I'm down. But
No.
I'm just saying, we probably be staying late that night checking out. But for the board, I can do whatever you need me to do.
No, I'm not the 22nd, the 21st.
Then I revoke that motion, I'll make it for the 21st. Hey, we'll roll with it. Because Joe, you're gonna be here.
I'm happy to take
It is a Tuesday.
Motion by Roger Bridgman, seconded by Lisa Elrod, that the May board meeting be scheduled on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m. with closed session to follow. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 7 yes.
I appreciate that you guys take the time to look at your calendars. I think we owe it to our school district to do that. Yes, so our next item of business is we need to go into closed session
So moved.
after a 10-minute recess.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Motion by Sherry Schudy, seconded by Caitlin Mace to go into closed session in accordance with the provisions of section 610.021, subsection 313 of the revised statutes of Missouri in order to discuss personnel after a 10-minute recess. Roger?
Yes.
Lisa? Yes. Caitlin?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you all for coming.
Steve said that.
What'd you say, Sherry?